Mike. There we go. Hey, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic. My name is Mike Avery here behind the mic in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. Glad to have you along with us on what is dark. Looks like it might be raining. If not, it soon will be. Davina, good morning. How are you? Hello, Cliff. Nice to have you back along with us on this edition of Behind the Mic. It's Wednesday morning. Hello, Joel. Jerry, always a pleasure. A loyal viewer. I appreciate that. Captain Mike, he calls me. Well, technically I am. I'm not on the water, obviously, this morning, although I've had some great trips to wrap up the season. Good morning, Carl. How are you? Jim. Brad. I'm doing just great. Hello, Brian. Nice to have you along with us again. I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's show. I will let you know in a few minutes who is on this week's show, and then we'll record an offshore tackle podcast after that. Let me just check a couple things here. Boom. Okay, I think I got the audio problem. Hey, Ross, how are you, buddy? I will see you in just a couple of weeks now. What, a week and a half even? 10 days. 10 days it is. Hello, Josh. Roger checking in from Columbiaville. Cody's at work in Toledo. Moving to the cabin in Harrison. Mark says, Mike, what day is it? The door's open, so I can't say it too loud. It's hump day. Hello, Bruce. Raber Bay checking in from the Eastern UP. How are things? I hear there's a big berry crop in the UP this year, Raber Bay, which means that there's going to be a big berry crop in White River as well. How are things in Rock, Marty? Good morning. I'll be up there now. Ross Elliott says 10 days. Joe, you make me nervous. The wife says, hello, handsome Mike. My handsome days are over. If I ever had any. Hey, can you believe it's August? Hard to believe the summertime is slipping away, right? There is still time, though. Wish it was a fishing day. Craig, I had a great time with you and your brother and Dave. Just really a great trip. And I want you to know, folks, that Craig Plowman set a new standard. Craig not only paid for a fishing trip on a charity auction, but he also brought me a box of very nice cigars. So this is the new standard. When you fish with Avery, you are not only expected to bring a good cigar, you're expected to bring a box of very good cigars because Craig Plowman has now set the bar higher. You hear that, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand? Craig Plowman set the bar higher. By the way, hey, Jason, how are things at the Fort Dearborn Truck Plant? I can't say this officially on the radio, but I can say it online here. Billy's checking in from the SS Badger. Where are you this morning, Billy? Nick Grillo, Michigan Brand meets MichiganBrand.net. If you go into a Meijer store right now and you find the Meijer brand of jerky and snacks and meat sticks and whatever, they're actually made by Michigan Brand. They have a Meijer brand name on them, but they're made by our friends at Michigan Brand. How cool is that? Rob, you can talk about worms and night crawlers all you want, but I am slowly but surely convincing all of my friends that night crawlers are not necessary to catch fish. Everybody, good morning, Captain Jim. How are you? Everybody who was giving me grief about crawlers, who has now fished with me when we've been running spoons and plastic, has found out, yes, indeed, you don't need night crawlers to catch walleye. Where were those turkeys when I needed them in the springtime, Cliff? Okay, Craig, you know that stretch of water that we caught fish on in Friday, 12 feet of water? Leaving from Ludington, Billy says, all right, have a good trip, Billy. Be safe. Craig, we went back to that same spot Saturday. Couldn't get I think we got one fish in there. Couldn't get any fish in there at all. Nick says, yes, sir. All of our jerky and recipe, it's all theirs. It's all Michigan brand. It says Meyer, but it's Michigan brand. So if you've been saying, I can't get Michigan brand products, and you probably can because they're everywhere, go into your local Meyer store, get some Meyer branded jerky or snack sticks, and they're actually Michigan brand. How cool is that? So anyway, then nobody wanted crawlers. Nobody wanted crawlers. So anyway, Craig, we couldn't get fish in that 12 feet of water. So I went out to 25 feet of water, an area I had been getting fish in earlier in the summer. And we got a 3-man limit on crankbaits using the 50+2 method, both flicker shads and flicker minnows. And then spoons behind number 30 jet divers, 100 to 80 feet back. The fish were on the bottom. Hey, Bill, how are you? Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Behind the Mic. Craig says it must be him on the boat, but we got fish without you. Scott said 27 to 29 was good. We made it out to 20. I didn't even make it to 26. We made it out to 25 feet of water, but we were getting fish. Good morning, Jen. How are you and Tim? Leeches on a slow roll. See, that's the thing. I found myself in a pack of boats on Saturday, and unfortunately, there was a bunch of crawler guys in there, and it drove me crazy. And I got the hell out of that pack of boats as quick as I could, because there's nothing worse than getting stuck in a pack of boats trolling crawlers when you're trolling cranks at 3 times their speed. I saw that Berkley is coming out with a plastic. Oh, no, that won't, Jim. But the Berkley crankbait that has scent in it gets my attention. Morning, Dave. How are you? I agree with you, Paul. It is bear season. That's why I am now done fishing. I ended the season on a limit. Well, I ended the season on 2 very good trips. So I ended the season on a high note. Now, in 10 days, I'm leaving for White River, Ontario, Canada for a bear hunt. So I am switching gears. I'm not done fishing, but I'm done fishing for now. I may make it out there to try to get some late season fish, but I'm really pleased at how well the fish on the bay are holding up. Morning, Michael. How are you? And my next trip might even be a perch trip. But for this time of year, I know you've got good bear bait, and so does Johnny Bowler, the bear whisperer. And Paul, I didn't realize you were taking a bow hunter. I thought you were the only guy in there. Do you have an opening? Are you looking for somebody? This is the Red Oak District. Perch season is coming soon, Cap. I know that. Yes. Marcia says we only use crawlers. It's a different style. Yes, it is a different style. What speed are you trolling if it's 3 times the crawler speed? I'm trolling 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. Paul has one opening. Get in touch with him. Ross said he took his dart and archery toxin out yesterday to dial it in. I haven't shot mine yet, but I will be in the next couple of days. Good morning, Bernie. How are you? Paul is in the Red Oak area. So if you have a tag for Red Oak and you're looking for somewhere to hunt, Paul Jenkins has a spot. Good morning, Kevin. Kevin Coyote killing King Rot. Those are some fast walleye. I figure if you got a troll at 1 mile an hour, they're not even worth catching. That's a joke. That's a joke. All right. That's a joke. But yeah, it drives me crazy to putt along at 1 mile an hour. I know you can catch fish. I know. But if you can catch fish at 3 times that fast and cover 3 times the water and look for aggressive fish, why not? Speaking of White River, right there he is, Daryl Godden checking in from White River. Daryl is our wolf hunting guide in White River. I will see you. Looks like you'll be using the new Angler Quest next year. Are you still waiting on the new one? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm not using my drone much at all. I will take it up to White River with me. Ed says it's pouring in northern Michigan. Excellent. We'll take the rain. I hope it works its way down this way, Ed. Hope it works its way down this way. Now, Craig was out on my prototype boat. I think if we make that river cruise on the prototype, and I think Craig would agree, it'll be a very, very nice trip. If I get the new boat in time, we'll take the new boat, and it'll be even better. So yeah, unless you're salmon fishing right now, this fishing season is kind of slowing down for now. Now it'll pick up in the fall, I get it, but a lot of people now are starting to make the mental transition to get ready for hunting season, especially those of us going on bear hunts. As you know, food plots got pushed back. Yes, it's pouring, Paul says. 10 days I'm heading to White River. And then I'll come home for a few weeks, then go back to northern Michigan to Seney to hunt with Johnny Bowler. It'll take a pretty special bear to get me to shoot a bear in White River. Like it's going to have to be a color bear, and I don't say color phase because they don't switch, right? It's not a color phase bear, because a color phase would make you think that, okay, this is its color phase, and then it's going to go back to a black bear, a black colored black bear. Good morning, Randy. How are you? Marty got his food plot in just in time. So I don't call them color phase bears because it's not a phase they go through. That is the color of the black bear. So I would have to find a really, really big black colored black bear, or a respectable color black bear, probably a cinnamon, before I would shoot it. The reason being, I have very high hopes that I'm going to be able to get a shot at a bear with Johnny Bowler here in Michigan. And to be honest with you, good morning, Doyle. Doyle, how are you? Bring bug juice. I always do. I bring a Thermacell, Rob. Bring a Thermacell. Rob, how are the blueberries? How's the berry crop? I hear it's pretty good berry crop this year, which is bad news for bait hunters. Ron will bring them in, though. Ron will bring them in. So I really, we eat a bear a year. We don't eat 2 bears a year. So I probably, I'm going up there with the intent of watching bears, getting video of bears, having close encounter with bears, enjoying the experience, and then hopefully shooting a Michigan bear, even if it's a smaller one. Yes, there are blueberries, Rob says. Ed says his order is to bring home a bear. I get it. If I wasn't bear hunting in Michigan this year, I would be going to White River with the intent of shooting a bear. Some years I go up there to shoot a bear. Some years I go up there just to bear hunt. And there is a difference. Some people don't understand that, but there is a difference. I have not shot that 350 Legend yet. I had to get fishing out of the way. Fishing's been on my mind here the last month or so, and that's what I've been doing. But now that I'm changing gears, I'll get my Darton toxin out, Ross. Make sure she's dialed in. Yeah, that Meyer was not there when I was at Ferris. In fact, a lot of things weren't there when I was at Ferris. In fact, it was still at Ferris State College. Although, Ross, you and I both know when your bait's 10 yards away, it's not like you're making a 50-yard shot on a whitetail. But then as soon as I get back from White River, I'm going to start spending some quality time with that Brenton 350 Legend. I wonder, when you see what's going on in Washington right now with the clowns in Washington, did I say clown? I meant to say joke. No, did I say joke? I meant to say shysters. Oh, no, did I say shysters? I meant to say crooks. Oh, did I say crooks? No, I meant to say politicians. Sometimes it's very confusing. And not all of them, because I have some good friends who are politicians who are good, solid people. In fact, I cut a radio spot for one of them for to air on the west side of the state. The enemy. When I see these clowns who are voting to ban AR-15s, it makes me nervous. I have room in Atlanta for a couple of bear hunters also. All right, Ross, should they get in touch with you or should they get in touch with Gary Morgan? Russ drew a bear permit for the second season Newberry, starting the 12th. Who are you hunting with, Russ? I will be up there the 25th. Sam, good morning. Your dad's on here, by the way, this morning. Sam, how are things at Jay's? In fact, I'm going to be talking with, this is a good time to bring it up. In the third season this hour, Kevin Pritchard is going to be joining me. Poke your head in here, Art. Ladies and gentlemen, Art Lewis, the man, the myth, the broadcasting legend. How are you this morning, Art?
Shooter, don't forget that.
And Shooter, yes.
Good.
All-inclusive description. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Art is an interesting story because he didn't grow up around guns, but he is now.
Well, I won a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus earlier this year.
And
started me on a brand new hobby.
see,
I love shooting.
See, this is wonderful. Now, you don't have an AR.
No, I don't have any long guns. I've got Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, Glock 19X, Heritage single action, and a new model Super Black Hawk with a scope.
Which is a beauty. I've seen that. So would you, as a non-AR owner, want to take my ARs from me?
No, I don't want to take anybody's
See?
gun.
My kind of guy right here.
No. I mean, the guns don't kill, people do.
Amen, brother. Absolutely. Why is that so hard to figure out, right? It's just common sense. It's a tool.
We have 6 minutes.
6 minutes. All right. Thank you, Art, for that input. I appreciate that. Tim says, every time politicians try to ban guns, he gets another one. Eli got a third hunt in Newberry. Who are you hunting with, Eli? Rick, good morning. How are you? I agree with you, Jen. Every time they try to ban guns, I just go get another one too. I had a buddy over to the house the other day, and we were in the garage, and I wanted to show him something I wanted to show him my new Brenton. So I opened up my gun safe, and he was like, holy crap, Avery. Excellent question, Phil. Going to try the bay this weekend, shallow or deep? The skinny water fish are still going on some days. I see. Daryl, I got the pick, but I haven't looked at it yet. Thank you. Your own property near Germfast. Excellent, Davina. Okay, shallow or deep for the bay this weekend? There are still some skinny water fish going. If you're willing to fight the weeds in some areas, my advice would be, in general, this weekend to go deep. Now, the surface temp where I was, both shallow and deep, was 75 degrees, which is pretty good for this time of year. So there are still fish there, but I would go deep. All right, Randy. The walleye bite should be good on inland lakes after this front goes through. Looking forward to hunting season. I am taking some also. Pickling some walleye to take up the White River. Excellent. And Ross says he's taking some also. Jim, good morning. How are things in Hersey? Yeah. And I will tell you this, Phil. We got them Saturday. We were in 25 feet. We were running number 7 flicker shads with a 50+2 method, number 7 flicker minnows, 50+2 method, 50 feet out, and then another 50, 40, 30, 20, whatever. We were also running spoons behind number 30 jet divers, 100, 90, 80, and 70 back. We did pretty good on the Inner Bay the last couple of times. Hey, Ron St. Louis is right there, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters, northernwildernessbearoutfitters.com. I will be up there in 10 days. Ross Elliott will be up there in 10 days. Ed Bolanowski will be up there in 10 days. A lot of people will be up there in 10 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. What did I see this comment about the ARs? Neil says, I used to be against AR, but my brother-in-law set me straight. Now I don't believe to ban anything. Yeah. What's the difference between an AR? Gerald, okay, I'm looking for info on the bay. When you say go deep, are you referring to the east side or west side? Gerald, I'm referring to both. However, I will tell you that this entire summer, I have not fished west of the channel. I have spent the entire summer on the east side. I don't think I've ventured to the west side of the bay once, just because it's more convenient for me to fish on the east side of the bay. A lot of guys fish out of Linwood Beach Marina. Great place to fish out of. Anyway, Ron, look forward to seeing you in 10 days. I tell you, if you want to go hunting north of the border, Ron is your guy. He is your man. Great people up there, great area. Although I hear, Ron, there's a big berry crop. So I know what your advice is going to be, Ron St. Louis. You're going to say, if you see a bear that you want to shoot and he comes in, take him, right? When you got a big berry crop. But I am confident, Ron, that you guys will be bringing bears into baits because that's what you do. NorthernWildernessBearOutfitters.com, NorthernWildernessBearOutfitters.com. If you want to see what this operation looks like, there's a video on my YouTube channel of my hunt last year. Nick Grillo put a very nice video up on Instagram of his hunt up there this spring, and you can get a feel for what the operation looks like. Ron says, but the baits are on fire. That's what we want to hear, Ron. The baits are on fire. Good morning, Doug. How are you? It was a pleasure to meet you at the Angler Quest tourney a couple of weeks ago. How's the fishing been, Doug? We are doing surprisingly well. I've been doing surprisingly well for this time of year. Last 2 trips have been really good. Took a limit last time out. One day we were in 12 feet of water. The next day we were in 25 feet of water. So I got no complaints. Oh, okay. First time. How far out do I need to go to find good fishing? You'll be in a small boat. I'll tell you what, Gerald. If I was going in a small boat, I'd go out of the mouth of the Saginaw River, or I'd go out of Finn. I tell you where I'd go. I'd go out of Finn Road east of Saginaw, launch there. Fishing's been on fire. Isn't that it's so great to hear? And Doug fishes to the north. I would go out of Finn Road and I would go out to about 8 to 10 feet of water. You'll see boats out there. They're probably going to be running crawlers, but if you go just beyond them, you can fish Callahan Reef. That's funny. All right, Ross, have a good day. 20 seconds? Oh, you're serious about doing the show, aren't you? I never did tell you who's on the show this week, my friends. You're going to have to listen to find out. All right. Have a good day, my friends. I got to go to work. So I will not be able to directly interact with you as I have been. Blast off. All right. So I got to record the radio show. So I can't read your comments and directly respond as I have been. But I can tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. I hope you can join me for that. Looks like we're getting, if we're not getting rain here, we will be soon. Got to wet the whistle here before I get started. Eric Long, Tom Campbell, John Bergsma, Chad Stewart, Lieutenant Jason Wickland, Kevin Pritchard, and Dave Miner. That's who's on the show this week. I did get it in there, didn't I? All right, my friends, have a good day. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. More than 30 stations across the great state of Michigan. I am here for 3 hours every week talking about the history and tradition of the outdoor lifestyle here in the great state of Michigan and occasionally beyond. The outdoor experience does not end at our state line. And occasionally, some of us here in our state like to venture beyond Michigan to see what else is out there. And it's fun, and I encourage you to do that. But, you know, Michigan is one of those states where we really don't need to leave. There's so much going on here. So many great hunting activities and fishing activities and travel activities and boating activities. It's a wonderful state. I am an unapologetic fanboy for the state of Michigan. Is it perfect here? Absolutely not. Are there things that could be better? Of course. But I have been blessed throughout my career, especially when I had the TV show, where that TV camera opened a lot of doors. If you were going to give somebody exposure on a TV show about their operation, about their hunting, about their fishing, about their area, they would welcome you in. So as a result, I had a chance to go to Africa a couple of times. I had a chance to go to Alaska a couple of times, Mexico a few times, all across Canada, all across this country. And there are some beautiful, beautiful places out there. And there are some wonderful resources out there. But always, every time, every trip, I was anxious to get back home. And not just because I wanted to get home and see my family and friends and get back to my own house and such, but I wanted to get back to Michigan. This is a great state. It really, really is. For those of us who love the outdoors, I am convinced this is the best state out there. Can you believe that it's now August? Again, how did that happen? It was just Memorial Weekend. Now we got Labor Day looking at us. There's still time. I know summertime is winding down, but there is still time to get your family out on that camping trip, that road trip, that scenic drive. Gas prices have you nervous. I get it. But can you put a price on memories? When it's February and it's 10 degrees out and there's 2 feet of snow, you're going to say, man, I wish we would have whatever. Do it. Do it. I find myself in an interesting mindset right now. My fishing season is basically wrapping up, and I'm starting to make the transition over to hunting season. Now, I know there's still lots of great fishing out there, and if I was still a salmon fisherman, the best time of the year would be coming up, but I am primarily a walleye fisherman, a Saginaw Bay walleye fisherman. And I'll tell you this, I continue to be pleasantly surprised on how good the Inner Bay walleye fishery is holding up. My last couple of trips have been just very, very good trips. We found fish one day in 12 feet of water, trolling number 7 flicker shads, number 7 flicker minnows. Pretty straightforward, basic, as easy as you want to fishing as you want to be. I took another group of buddies out the next day in that same water. Couldn't find fish. Now, let me ask you this. Where do those fish go, right? When they're there one day and they're not there the next? Or here's a better question. When you make a troll through a school of fish and you pick up a half a dozen fish on the troll, and then you turn around and come right back through that school of fish and they don't bite, what happened? What changed? But that's the thing about walleye. They will turn a switch off and on. Well, they'll turn off and on like a switch. So we were in 12 feet of water one day, got some fish. Went out the next day, couldn't find any fish. I thought, well, let's go deep. I went out to 25 feet of water, which for me is unheard of. And we got a limit of fish out there. Number 7 flicker shads, number 7 flicker minnows using the 50+2 method. Let 50 feet out, put a 2-ounce snap weight on, and let out additional length of line. Running number 30 jet divers in front of spoons on the other side, 70, actually 40 to 100 feet back. The fish were deep, but there were a few of them up high that were feeding as well. So I basically ended my summertime Saginaw Bay walleye fishing on a very high note. We ended up with a limit of fish. I like that. The water temp was 75 degrees, so I expect that there will be some good fishing for a while. And those who are not getting ready for hunting season and continue to fish are going to enjoy some great action. But I am in this transition now. Now I'm making the move over to hunting. Yes, I know you can do both. You can do hunting and you can do fishing, but I tend to be a little bit intense, or maybe more accurately, when you have limited time, you have to choose your passion, choose your vice. So from the time you're hearing this show, it'll be a week till I leave for White River, Ontario, Canada, on a bear hunt. So the time that I would normally be spending fishing, I'm going to be spent behind the dart and crossbow, making sure it's dialed in, getting my hunting gear around, making sure my Wraith blinds are all good to go, making sure I got a lot of Thermacell juice and Thermacells because the bugs are going to be terrible up there. Also, I'm very excited to try this piece of gear that Bob Ransom of Primal Tree Stands told me about last week on the show. By the time I get home from recording the show today, it should be on my porch. It should be delivered today. It's called the Blind Spot. And it's a remote camera that you put up on your blind so you can see behind you and you control it with your phone. I'm thinking what I want to do, because I know where I'm going to be hunting. Well, I think I know where I'm going to be hunting in White River. And you can't see anything behind you anyway. It's bush so thick you can't see through it. But I don't know. What's the range on this camera? Can I take this camera? Because keep in mind, when you're hunting bears over bait, you know kind of where they're going to come from. I mean, you can look and see the trail. I call it a runway, like a deer runway, but it's bear. You know basically where they're coming from, even though you can't necessarily see because the bush is so thick. So I'm thinking if I take one of these blind spot cameras, these remote cameras, and I put it over by the bait and I point it down the trail or the runway the bears are coming in, even though I can't see them with my eye, maybe I can get a heads up looking at them on my phone. Now, here's the bigger question. is that it's legal, yes. But is it right? Is it ethical? Is it getting too technologically advanced that it's no longer the right thing to do? I can't make that statement because I haven't used it yet. When I use it and get a feel for it, I'll let you know. But I will tell you this, and I can't verify this, but I heard this from some buddies of mine who should know. Like the what do they call that? The active view or the target view, whatever it is on these new sonar units that allow you to look out to the side, they're looking front in real time action and see fish and see how they react to your baits. I've heard that some of the muskie tournaments have banned that technology. So there is a fine line, right, between using technology to enjoy our outdoor experiences and be as effective as possible, and then crossing the line. Where is it? I'm not going to say where that line is. Some traditional archery say crossbows have crossed the line, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. But I'll let you know. What else? Oh, I did find last time I was out, this was an interesting experience. When I used to fish Lake Michigan, I was used to seeing commercial nets out there. And there are commercial nets on Saginaw Bay, but I had never seen one before in this particular area that I had spent all summer. And that was kind of a surprise. Now, this one was well marked. I have to admit, this net was well marked. And you'd really have to be not paying attention to run into it, which can happen. I mean, when you're trolling away and you're looking at the back of the boat and occasionally you look around in front of you to make sure there's no boats, I mean, you might not see one of those orange markers, but along that line, nothing more. And I realize I'm combining the non-native commercial fishermen and the tribal fishermen, but it kind of led me into this next topic here. I haven't heard anything more about the consent decree negotiations with the tribes. What I have heard, though, continues to be frustration and a sense. This is not me saying this, but this is people in the know saying that the DNR seems to be wanting to sell us out on this. So this is something to keep an eye on. Remember when I said earlier that all things are not perfect here in Michigan? I think that might be a good example. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine show after the break, Eric Long of Longline Charters checks in from Lake St. Clair. He's been having a tremendous summer down there. Walleye, muskies, smallmouth. Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News, their big outdoor weekend's only a month away. If you are a vendor, if you have an outdoor-related business, can you still be a part of this? Tom will let us know about that. In hour number 2, John Bergsma of Great Lakes Fisherman's Digest tells us about the hot bites around Michigan right now. Chad Stewart from the DNR, he has some answers to questions about this mandatory deer check-in for the season coming up. Some people aren't happy about it. I want to get Chad's reaction to that. Then Lieutenant Jason Wickland, this week's Ask Avery segment. How many fish can you keep in your freezer? How long can you keep venison in your freezer and be legal? And then we're getting ready for bow season with Kevin Pritchard of Jay's Sporting Goods, and wild game chef Dixie Dave Miner wraps it all up. That's coming up this week right here on Outdoor Magazine. All right, my friends. All right, let's see what some of these comments were. Okay. What does the tribe want? Like all people, they want all they can get. Ed Bolanowski. Okay. All right. You think Mary's a bot? Who's Mary? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think Mary's a bot. Heidi messaged me. Yeah, Mary is going to get banned right now. Block user. Yeah, Mary James just got blocked. So you're right. I think she's a bot. Yeah. Bye, Mary. Mary's gone. We don't have to worry about her anymore. All right. All right, my friends, have a good day. I got to go. Mary's gone. Mary James, the bot, is gone. Have a good day. Enjoy the rain. I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Have a great day.